Clemson Championship Celebration.
Good morning and welcome to our special coverage of the Clemson Championship Parade. We are right outside of Memorial Stadium. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tracy Early along with Fred Cunningham. Oh, and just a few thousand Clemson fans.
We got here this morning right before 7 o'clock, right before the gates to Death Valley opened up. There were thousands of people in line. We can't really even give you a guess right now how many thousand people are here. It's a beautiful day, so a lot of people making that last-minute decision to come. There's still time.
And we have got you covered for this celebration this morning. We are here by the stadium. We've got Katie Salt out there talking to the fans this morning, as well as Todd Summers. He's out roaming around as well, hopefully catching some of those players. And an Air 7 giving you that bird's eye view of this jam-packed celebration.
So let's start things with Todd Summers. He was in Arizona with the Tigers for the victory against Ohio State. He was in Tampa for the national championship win over Alabama. Hi, Todd.
Hey, Fred, lots of good stuff here. We were just standing with a bunch of guys from the 2000s. They have the 1981 team's going to be part of this, the teams from the 70s and before, a team from the 2000s. We talked with Charlie Whitehurst, talked with Woody Dance, so they're going to join us in just a little bit. They're lining up right now down the street. They got the floats getting ready to go. I hear Air 7 over top of us. There's thousands of people here. The action is just getting started. It's going to be a lot of fun over the next couple of hours.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. So obviously he's right at the start of the parade. Hopefully we get to hear from a lot of those former players, the current players, the coaches, and everybody else. We also have our Katie Soldas out and about.
Yeah, let's see if Katie has been talking to those fans this morning. Katie's been out here just as early. Hey, Katie, what are you seeing?
Well, Fred and Tracy, we're joined with Aaron and Josie. Show us some of those pom-pom moves. Show us those cheerleader moves. Can we get a big Go Tigers?
Go Tigers!
Now, you guys got here a little bit before 8 o'clock. Why are you so excited about today?
We're just excited to see the national championship team.
Now, this is her first national championship. You said you were 4 years old the last national championship. Any particular player that you guys want to see today?
Ben Buller.
We got some Ben Bulwer fans in the house. So, Ben, if you're listening, I think we got your biggest fan right here. And Mom's a big fan too, right?
Yes.
So we've got fans coverage for you all day. There's a ton of orange and purple out here. We're right across from the SO Club, so right before that parade route takes a loop to you, Fred and Tracy. So we'll send it back to you for right now, but be sure to stay tuned in. We've got a ton more fans. So can I get a big Go Tigers?
Go Tigers!
Back to you guys.
Sounds good. Thank you for that, Katie. Sounds good. Thank you, Katie. Now, we are in a position where the parade's going to pass right behind us as it filters into Memorial Stadium. Starting at 9 a.m. Going to start any moment now. And Todd, I think he's got someone right now.
Let's go to Todd Summers.
Absolutely. We got former Clemson quarterback Charlie Whitehurst. Charlie, you said you watched this year's game. You were at the game. What were your thoughts on watching the uniform, the team, on such a big stage perform so well?
Oh, it was so awesome. It was almost surreal, you know, but when it ended, when he hit that pass to Renfro, it was kind of like, oh, my gosh, here we are. You know, I mean, the team on the field did it for sure, and they deserve so much credit and so much work, but it was a little bit of a sense that the Clemson Nation, like, we did it. Finally, we did it, and you don't really know how to feel when you're at the top of the mountain, but it was a great moment for everybody, all the fans, all the players, coaches, anybody that's ever, you know, had something to do with this program.
As a guy that was there, maybe through some tough years, as you were building this, as it was growing and growing, you knew it was possible. When did you start to see this program maybe take that next step?
I think when Dabo got hired, I mean, I really had a sense. It's easy to say now, but I had a sense that he was somebody special. You know, I had been on the same team with him for 3 years. He was the receiver coach. There was something about him, and when they made that hire, I think, you know, I'm sure Terry Don knew that he did the right thing as well, but it kind of proved everybody right, you know, a couple days ago.
How cool is it that you were included in this? This parade is for the team that won the 2016 national championship, but guys that were on that 1981 team, guys that were on the team back in the 70s, guys that were on the team in the 2000s like yourself, were invited to be a part of this parade.
Yeah, it's not surprising because that's the culture Dabo's created here. You know, I've never played for him, you know, as him being the head coach, but the culture is family. You know, people that were before you, and again, I don't think we had really any hand in it, you know, but just to include us and make us feel like this is really special, and it doesn't surprise me. You know, you get the email from his secretary and stuff. And it's like, well, of course, you know, he said it's extremely important for Dabo to have all the former players here, and that was like just kind of expected from him. It's something he would do.
You've been in the NFL for more than a decade now. You've always remained close with this program while you've kind of gone from one NFL team to another. You've always had Clemson as that base. Why has that 4 years meant so much to you that you've carried it with you even as you've gone on to San Diego and Seattle and other places?
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I was thinking about that driving up last night, you know, and I mean, it's where I kind of was able to, I don't know, make a name for myself, you know, and it was really nice to do it in a place that was so family-oriented and people that care. You know, you go to a lot of other schools, and I know that you can do things and go into the NFL and have success and stuff a lot of different places, but I don't know, you're embraced. You know, I come back here and they treat me, you know, special. I'm treated more special here than anywhere else in my whole life, so it's just a great place, really.
Charlie Whitehurst, thank you very much. Congratulations. Sure. It's a big part of what this Tiger team has been able to do. Guys like Charlie Whitehurst and those that have come before, the Deshaun Watsons and the Mike Williams and the Hunter Renfros, those guys helped to lay the foundation. We're going to send it back to you, Fred and Tracy.
All right, thanks, Todd. Thanks to Charlie Whitehurst. Let's give you some of the views around here right now because we are just getting ready to get this parade started. That's a live look, as you can see right now. Look at that parade route. That is part of Highway 93. This is actually going to start right where Todd is at College Avenue and Keith Street. It's going to turn right as you see here, lined, how many, 4 or 5 people deep?
This is amazing. I mean, look at this Clemson pride here this morning. These people were lining up when we got here about 6:30 or so, and then our crews got here even earlier. People were lined up outside of Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, we talked to some Clemson staffers. They said there were people here as early as 4:30 this morning. So that's one of the main parts of the parade route right there, Highway 93. I think we're going to have a shot coming up from Air 7. And
actually inside the stadium.
Inside the stadium. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. You can see the people that are lined up. These folks have been, again, going into the stands since the gates opened at 7 o'clock this morning. And right now they're enjoying re-watching that championship game that was played Monday night and into Tuesday morning. So there's already thousands of people that are in the stadium for where the rally will be held, which will be bringing you. It's about to start about 10:30 this morning, and we got Air 7 that's going to show you just a great look at just how many people are here.
Yeah, you can just get a good feel of the crowds and the sense of the excitement here this morning, just seeing the people, and that is the band, Clemson's band, making a showing at the celebration this morning.
So it looks like with the Clemson marching band moving that this parade is underway. So they're going to be with us not too long. I'm trying to guess how long the actual parade route is because it really basically goes from downtown Clemson. It goes around Little John Coliseum, if you know the territory here. Back behind us, it'll go across the north side of Death Valley, and then the players will be making their way inside from there.
And I think we're going to check back in with Todd Summers, who's on the ground with all the action. Hey, Todd.
Hey, Tracy, we are here with former center, class of 2012, Dalton Freeman. Dalton, what is it like to be a part of a national championship parade? Could you have ever imagined this when you signed up to be a Clemson Tiger back in 2007?
Well, actually, I could imagine it. I think that's why we all came to Clemson. You know, we really bought into what Dabo was selling, and I think it speaks volumes that he wants the former players here to be a part of it, and it's so cool to be, you know, here today.
What was it like to watch that game Monday night and to see that Paul have that success on that stage and then Hunter Renfro make that catch?
It was unbelievable. You know, I think it's finally a sign of respect, not for us, but to the whole country. You know, we started building our brand a long time ago, and I think that finally represents that we're here now. You know, we've been here for a long time, but now maybe everybody else will understand that we're here to stay.
And on that stage, Ben Boulware and Coach Sweeney made it a point to thank those that came before them. It wasn't a national championship for just the Deshaun Watsons and the Mike Williams and the Wayne Gallmans. They threw out Spencer Shuey, and they threw out a bunch of names that came before. When you heard that, maybe they didn't throw out Dalton Freeman's name specifically, but you knew that they were including you on that stage.
Yeah, I mean, that's really when I got emotional, you know, because I stay in close contact with Coach Sweeney, all the guys here. And just for them to understand that it's bigger than themselves, it's about the whole foundation, it's about this university. You know, you're proud to be a Tiger, you're proud to be part of something bigger than yourself and be part of a big family.
Outstanding. Dalton Freeman, thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Lots of fans out there waiting to see you and a bunch of the other former Tigers that are coming along. At the end of the parade, it'll be Santa Claus. You'll see Dabo Sweeney, Deshaun Watson, and the rest of the guys. We're going to send it back to Fred and Tracy.
All right, thanks, Todd. And, of course, we've got, think about this for a moment. How far we've come in the matter of about 14 days. 14 days ago, Clemson had never beaten a number 2 ranked team in the country. This is from the polls, not the college football playoff. They beat Ohio State. They'd never beaten a number 2 team before. They had never beaten a number 1 ranked team before, and they then knocked off Alabama back on Monday night. And now here we are 2 weeks later with all of these fans. Just look how deep we are. Right in our spot, they're about 10 deep where we are right outside Memorial Stadium.
You know what's so cool? There are families out here. They talk about the Clemson fans, it being one big family, and people have brought their families out. We've seen 1 and 2-year-olds. Saw a baby crawling on the ground by the stadium, all the way up to grandmas. Met a grandma who has a grandson on the championship team, as well as her son played on the 81 team. How cool is that?
It's awesome. There's a lot of combinations like that. Katie Sold is back with us. She's talking to some of these fans that have made their way to the streets of Clemson. Hi, Katie.
Hey, friend Tracy, we're here now with Camille and Celeste and a couple of their family members. We got the flag in the background, too. So you guys got here right around 7. How excited are you for the parade today?
We're super excited. I'm just ready to see everybody, and I think it's a good look for the town.
So if you had to pick a favorite player, I know it's hard, but if you had to pick one, who would you say is your favorite player?
Mr. Watson.
You can't go wrong. Deshaun and Ben, those are the 2 big ones that we're hearing today. So when you guys watched that roller coaster of a game down to the final second, walk me through what you guys were feeling.
I was just shocked. I was completely shocked. It's just really exciting.
All right, what about you?
I thought it was going to take a miracle, but, that last play, I was so happy for them. I just couldn't believe it.
All right, let's get a big Clemson Tigers cheer. Does that sound okay? Yeah. All right, guys want to start it off?
All right, go. Y'all ready?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. CLEMSON. TIGERS. Fight, Tigers, fight, Tigers, fight, fight, fight.
These guys are ready to see their players come down and give them the biggest Clemson Tiger cheer possible. And we'll be checking in with you all morning, friend Tracy, with more fans from here near Death Valley. But right now, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Katie, thank you for that. And what's cool, too, is the Clemson Tigers finally have in their possession the National Championship Trophy, which made a tour throughout the upstate leading up to this celebration.
Yes, right. Thousands of people had the chance over the last couple of days in Central and Easley to go to their neighborhood Walmart. Yeah. And the trophy was there for about 3 hours, and they put a lot of people through them left and right. Hey, Todd Summers is standing by with one of the terrific Clemson stars, one of the most dynamic players to ever wear that uniform. Let's go to Todd.
No doubt about it. He is an all-time Clemson great, Woody Dancer. What is it like to walk in this parade as a national champion Clemson Tiger, guy that helped lay that foundation?
It's warm. When you think about it, it's one of those things, it's a feeling, it's that warm, fuzzy feeling of family, love, compassion. It's just warm. It's a great feeling.
These fans appreciate what you did, and it's been 15 years, 20 years since you've done it. They'll always remember what you did for them. Do you just feel that love everywhere you go still to this day?
I do. But the biggest thing about it, and we preach it all the time. Even Coach Sweeney, Coach Bowden did it, Coach West did it. Each generation is supposed to set the tone for the next generation. You should never strive to make someone just equal you. You always want to put them on a platform where they can go that extra mile, that extra year. So this is great to see this happen.
You're an athletic quarterback. When you were sitting watching Monday night, from your perspective, from a quarterback's perspective, what did you see from Deshaun Watson?
Perseverance. Determination. The ability to get in his own head and straighten himself out, which I don't think anything was wrong with him. He was just, they were still filling out the game. When you're going against a great opponent like Alabama, it's going to take some time. They're going to throw shots at each other, make some adjustments, and they made the right adjustment. When he got in the groove of the game, you saw what he's capable of.
What was your thought process? 2 minutes to go, field goal tie, touchdown wins. Were you confident?
I was actually confident before that because my wife got mad at me because the series before, when Jalen scored, I laughed. And she's like, what are you laughing for? And my whole thing in my head, I was thinking TV ratings. So when he goes out and scores, I said that's why I laughed, because I already saw what was going to happen.
And to that point, Deshaun Watson said that he looked and he kind of laughed too. He said, they left me too much time. 2 minutes, a couple timeouts. That's too much time for that much talent around, right?
Exactly. That's way too much time, especially with a confident quarterback. He's gotten into his groove. You got the talented group around him. So, I mean, they were all confident. They was in their groove. They were ready to play. So they knew they had enough time, and they went out there and executed.
Outstanding. Woody Dansler, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Congratulations from the whole Clemson family. Guys, we're going to send it back to you.
Thank you, Todd. Sounds good. It's so cool to hear from all of these players and former players on such a huge celebration day.
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite things that Ben Boulware said after the game. He got up on that stage in front of the Clemson fans who were there and was talking about, and he started naming by name a lot of players who had been here, part of the Dabo Swinney years, as you can see all these fans here. But he named off all the guys who helped build this thing and build the monster that Clemson football has now become on the national college football scene. But he talked about those guys that helped build it, and they were the guys who were there that were able to finish the job that they started. By the way, you mentioned a lot of the connections between the 81 and the 2016 national championship teams. There are 5 1981 national championship players who have sons that are playing on this year's national championship team.
How good is that as a recruiting tool? Hey, buddy, we know you were on the 81 team. Bring your son here.
Yeah, it includes Jeff Davis, who was absolutely probably the heart and soul of that team 35 years ago. I still can't get over that. As you've been seeing, the parade, by the way, has gotten started from College Avenue and Keith Street. It's really making its way now on Highway 93, and it's coming in our direction.
Yeah, this is a look at the fans right near where we are, just outside of the stadium, and it is just packed right now. As we give you an air view from Air 7, you can see people are still rolling into the celebration this morning. It is jam-packed.
Yeah, one of the things that they talked about, the 1981 team would be a part of this. And now they just said, like, hey, if you played football at Clemson, because we've seen a lot of guys, Woody Dansler and Charlie Whitehurst, and right there is Dabo Swinney, his wife, family. Of course they've got a tiger on front of their convertible. Now you really know this parade's underway when Dabo's on the move.
Brent Venables.
So we got him on the move. There's an aerial look right there. As you can see, there the parade, the back part of the parade moving. There's Brent Venables right there. As you can see, he's the defensive coordinator. What a difference he has made with this program, bringing it here. He's obviously enjoying life.
His kiddos with him, it looks like.
Yeah.
Why not, right? Front row seat.
Of course, so I mean, there's such a family here. You think about the offensive coordinators, the co-offensive coordinators, Jeff Scott and Elliott, and you know, these are two guys who played here, who went here, who are here now, and just having a tremendous time here. Look at that. By the way, they got every cool car in the greater Clemson area, didn't they?
Seriously, look at that one. That's awesome.
There's Jeff Scott right there.
We were talking about it. Our Christine Scarpelli talked with him and his wife in Tampa about, you know, raising a family and how family comes first, as does football, and the balance between that and whatnot. And another Air 7 view of the coaches coming in, kind of leading off this parade this morning. It's some pretty cool cars.
Yep. Tony Elliott would be right by him, I'm sure. Again, the other offensive coordinator, as they make their way down Highway 93 on their way there. We will know when the band is here, because that's when we're going to know that the parade's coming our direction. It looks like the Rally Cats are at the very front of this, followed by the Clemson Marching Band, and it's just really a sight. And boy, the weather really worked out today.
Oh man, yeah, we were hoping it would work out this way, and it certainly did. But you know what? People would have come out here no matter what, rain or shine. But luckily, it's pretty nice. It's a little cool, no rain whatsoever. And these guys we're seeing here, these coaches, we're going to hear from a lot of them at the rally a little bit later too, inside the stadium.
Yeah, we're going to hear a lot of guests today. Bill Hancock, by the way, the director of the College Football Playoff, is actually here in Clemson today, and he's going to speak to the crowd here when everybody gets in. We'll hear from Dr. Clement, or the school president, Jim Clements. We'll hear from the athletic director. We're going to hear a lot of people once they get inside. But right now, the place to be is on the streets of Clemson. Katie Salt standing by. Let's see. She's probably got some more fans with us.
They're coming to us right after this, I believe. Yep. Good morning, Fred and Tracy. This is Bradley Flowers. You may remember the name. He played here for Clemson University, found his family here with his adorable kids in the crowd.
Yeah.
So how does it feel to finally see a national championship come to Clemson?
Oh, yeah, it feels good. I mean, obviously I wasn't born in '81, and so when I played, we obviously strive to do that. But now to bring it back, it feels real good, and took the whole family to Tampa, so it was a great experience, great trip.
This is the literal definition of an all-in family right here. We got the twins, we got the wife, we got the newborn. I mean, how excited are you as a family to witness something like this?
Oh, yeah, it's great because we have everybody in our immediate family that went to Clemson, graduated, and it's just good to bring it home for the family, and it's just go Tigers.
Now, are we training future wide receivers right here? Is this going to be the line of wide receivers?
Well, we might not be all wide receivers, so we'll something. So.
Now, are you anxious to see Dabo talk? I mean, you know him. He coached you. What are you expecting from him today when he talks to the fans?
I think he's just going to just be pumped up and and just thank everybody for being out there, and everybody's going to give him a good, welcoming, and it's going to be great.
Again, Bradley Flowers, former Clemson player. We're going to send it out now over to Todd Summers, who's got some more Clemson players for us.
Joel, we've seen a bunch of the former players come walking through. We've seen the coaching staff come walking through. Look who's lining up right now to get ready to get on the float and see these fans up close and personal. These are the guys that helped bring that national championship home. We got Deshaun Watson, we got Jordan Leggett, we got Ben Boulware, we got the whole team at the top of the steps. You think they're going to get a reception when that bus comes trucking through and you see those guys that helped bring the first national championship in 35 years back to Clemson? These guys are no doubt the stars of the show. It's neat to see the other guys included. That's really cool. But you're going to be talking about Deshaun Watson and Ben Boulware and Jordan Leggett and Jay Guillermo for years and years and years to come. They are legends forever, and they're going to be celebrated here tonight. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Todd. One of my favorite reactions from after the championship win was when Todd Summers, he was in Tampa, interviewed Boulware. Remember just his sheer excitement?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He went, if you know your professional wrestling, you know Ric Flair, and he was in full woo mode.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking about that. But it's going to be cool to see the fans react in pretty similar fashion once those players come walking through on this parade, that's for sure.
And you just think about the opportunity they had to actually get back to this game. It is so hard. Just think about well over 120 schools playing Division I college football. And for a team like Clemson to build this thing to the point that they can get to that championship game 2 years in a row and get that win the next time is remarkable. I mean, think about this run. Over the last 6 years, the only college football program in America that's won more games than Clemson is Alabama, the team they beat Monday night.
That's pretty amazing, and a lot of people were talking about how it was pretty much almost, the fans made it almost a home game because they outnumbered the Bama fans down in Tampa in that stadium.
Yeah, when Todd was there, he was talking about, he put the split at something like 65% and 35%, 65 fans for Clemson and 35 for Alabama. Once again, Air 7 giving you some great shots right here as the parade continues to make the turn onto Highway 93 to head our way. I think in the distance, I think I can hear the band.
The band? Yeah, you hear a little bit. I think we're starting to
get our first inkling that the parade's going to be behind us pretty soon here.
It's going to get pretty loud. We've got so many fans out here. You know what else is cool about this fan base, too? A lot of people were talking about a year ago when Clemson lost, they came back home. The fans showed up to support their team. You compare that to when Alabama came home. A lot of people were talking about that on social media when the players arrived back, and they didn't get a lot of fanfare. A lot of people were talking about because maybe they're used to winning and that sort of thing. But these Clemson fans, they show up.
One of the things I loved, and we had the coverage when the team arrived back. They flew into GSP. They made the drive roughly an hour down here to get to Clemson. There were people on the interstate bridges as those buses went on Interstate 85 this way. Once again, that's a look from our camera that we have that is heading towards, and you can really see how the whole thing sets up. There is the main parade route, Highway 93, in the upper left hand of your corner. That's where it's going to end, right at Death Valley. It's probably about a 1 mile, maybe a little more than a mile journey here. And again, you can see 10 deep there, and it's about 10 deep where we are right behind us.
And Katie Solt, she is talking to the fans out there. She's got more for us. Hey, Katie.
Yep. Hey, Fred and Tracy, we're here with Ben and Megan. Now, the parade is making its way down here, but you can see they're swagged out in their national championship gear. So I'm asking everybody that heart attack of a game, that last second, give me your reaction.
We were sitting there, and I knew once Alabama scored and we had that ball back for the last 2 minutes, I just knew in my heart, and I recorded all of our families. We were all sitting together, and I recorded it all, and we were watching it the other day, and we were all just like, oh my goodness. We rewatched the game the other day, and I still had anxiety with 2 minutes left in the game. I was like, I know what's going to happen, but I still had anxiety, and I was sitting there like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? Are we going to, what?
I was actually sitting in the aisle of the stadium holding onto the pole like this because I've been a Clemson fan since I was born, and this was something I just never thought would happen, and it's been absolutely amazing, and I still can't believe it.
35 years, and they finally get another victory parade here in Clemson. The parade is coming our way, so be sure, and we'll keep bringing it to you live here from the streets of Clemson. Thank you guys, Ben and Megan. Let's get a big Go Tigers!
Go Tigers!
Back to you, Fred and Tracy.
All right, thanks, Katie. And as you can see right now at that parade route, the last time we showed you from Air 7, it's making its way across right now, right by Riggs Field, the home of the Clemson Tigers soccer programs, and it's going to be making its next left. And when it makes that next left, it's going to be coming our way. And the biggest thing that we need to make sure we do is try not to scream too much because it's going to get really loud.
Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. Todd Summers, he's out there talking with some players and fans. Hey, Todd, who you got now?
Hey, what's going on? They won't let us talk to the players as they get into the Jeeps and the various different vehicles, but look who's on top of this Jeep right here. We got the offensive MVP of the national championship game. We've got the defensive MVP of the national championship game. No doubt about it, Deshaun Watson and Ben Boulware are getting huge cheers as they walk down the streets here in downtown Clemson. They are fired up, and Ben was even practicing his parade wave when he first got in because I'm sure he was not ever sure that he was going to be sitting on top of a Jeep going through his hometown waving at these fans that just cannot wait to get a glimpse of Ben Boulware and Deshaun Watson. We see the little number 4 jerseys, we see some 10 jerseys, we see so many fans that have waited so long to see these guys and the rest of their teammates. Deshaun right now waving to the fans. He wanted this national championship so bad. He came really close to getting it last year. He almost won the Heisman Trophy last year and this year. But the trophy he wanted most of all, he got his hands on Monday night. And if you saw the emotion that he showed when he held that trophy and was almost brought to tears because he knew how hard he worked to get that trophy back here to Clemson. And now this is a day where the love just comes pouring in. Just comes pouring in. You hear them chanting the Clemson chant right now. These guys are absolutely loving what they're going through right now, all the love that they are feeling for all the hard work that they put in. We're going to show you some more guys as they come through right behind Ben Boulware and Deshaun Watson. We've got Jordan Leggett and Jay Guillermo. Now, Jay Guillermo is a guy that at one point in his career, a couple years ago, he left school. He was battling some depression. He had some difficult times in his life, but he fought through them. He fought through them. His teammates supported him. His coaches supported him. Dabo said when he walked out of his office, he wasn't sure he'd ever see Jay Guillermo again. But looky there. Jay Guillermo is standing up as a team captain for a team that won a national championship because he persevered and he fought through, and now look on the other side. He couldn't be any happier, and he said what he went through helped to make him the man that he is today. Now behind them in this pretty gray Camaro is Jadar Johnson and Carlos Watkins. These guys came into the year not knowing what to expect. This is Jadar's first time as a starter. He was talking big talk in the Fiesta Bowl, and they went out and they backed it up by shutting out the Buckeyes, and then they go play the national championship game. He said, you know what? I don't think our defense gets the respect nationally that it deserves. No disrespect to what Alabama has, but our defense is really good too. And in the second half, that Clemson defense was fantastic as they kept the game close, allowed the Clemson offense to get going and get back in the game. And right now, Jadar Johnson and Carlos Watkins are feeling the love. And these are two guys that had to overcome some adversity. 3 games into Carlos Watkins' sophomore year, he was in a car that had a fatality. One of his best friends passed away. He said at times he was depressed and very difficult to get himself motivated to play. He sat out the rest of that year, came back the following year, a changed man. He had grown up, and look at him now. He is a full-grown man because he leads the team in sacks, and he certainly led that defensive line that was among the best in the entire nation. As for Jadar Johnson, had a chance to chat with him a couple different times while we were in the Fiesta Bowl, and he said when he got to Clemson, he wasn't ready to play. He thought he was ready, but he wasn't ready to play, and he had to sit and wait and watch other players play. While in high school, he was the star of the show. He got to Clemson, and he had to sit and wait. He said that was so hard for him, but he learned so much about himself and so much about his team that when he got his opportunity, he was ready for it, and you saw that on the big stage. Now we're going to send it back to Fred and Tracy, and these fans, they're everywhere, and they're so fired up to see their Tigers. Back to you guys.
How cool is that? Todd's got some pretty good seats here for the celebration this morning. How cool is that?
It's pretty nice to be able to get out there right by those cars, and man, those are some fancy rides that they're coming in now. Let's go ahead and give you another look right now. I believe we're going to get a shot from Air 7, and we're on the ground right now. There's the Clemson Marching Band, and they are going to be coming our way really, really soon as this parade makes its way closer and closer to Death Valley.
Let's listen in for a minute.
Team after the cheerleaders get through.
I'll tell you what I want to do, and I got a kind of directing from the set here, because I want to take one moment to bring somebody up here. Tim Beret is the Sports Information Director at Clemson. How many years have you been here?
Just finished my 39th football season.
39 football seasons. Okay, you've seen 2 of these. What does this one feel like?
Well, it is different from the standpoint of the 1981 team kind of snuck up on everybody at the end. But this team was ranked number 2 in the preseason and had to deal with those types of pressures that come along with it for the entire season. So that was a little bit different. But after 35 years, it's just as exciting as the first one was.
What has just been watching this happen? One of the great things I loved the other night, I mentioned it earlier, Ben Boulware naming off so many former players that have been part of this process.
Yeah, absolutely. After I saw that, because I was on the field and could hear what he said, but to have the presence of mind in that moment to include all those former players, you know, it had to be a guy like Ben Boulware who grew up around here, has a real appreciation for the history of this program, and be able to mention the C.J. Spillers and the Taj boys and all those guys in recent history who really contributed to the buildup of this season.
I'm going to ask you one more question. Now, I'll let you go. I know you got a basketball game coming up behind me. This program, where is it now? Only you, with your statistical knowledge, can actually put this in perspective.
Well, it's right there at the top. You know, it's not a one-hit wonder, a one-year wonder when you look at 6 consecutive years, winning at least 10 games, 70 wins over the last 6 years to average almost 12 wins a year. That shows the stability and staying power of this program. We all wondered what in the world's going to happen when Taj Boyd graduated and left. Well, we had Deshaun Watson, and I hear we have some pretty good quarterbacks on the way.
I've heard that too. Tim Beret, longtime sports information director at Clemson. I can't wait for your 40th football season.
Good to see you here, Fred.
All right, thanks for being our instant interview. All right, I think we're going to head over to Todd Summers next.
Yeah, Fred, we got a cool story here. You've heard of Hunter Renfrow. Well, here's his girlfriend, Camilla. You want to know from her perspective, when he caught that ball with 1 second to go to win a national championship, you're his girlfriend. Tell me how you reacted.
It was amazing. I started crying. I couldn't believe it. My whole family was standing right there, and we didn't even watch the ending. We all just closed our eyes and started crying. We were so excited.
Now tell me who you're holding here.
This is Little Deuce. This is Hunter's new puppy.
And you got him after the national championship game.
Yes, sir.
So he's kind of like a national championship pup.
Yes, he's our celebration pup.
Outstanding. What a victory prize that is. The little pup here, he's excited. He's watching the players drive by right now on the bus. If you look, see Dorian O'Daniel, you see Andy Teasdall, and a bunch of guys are on the other side as well. And these fans are really excited because here come another batch of Tigers. These are the guys that helped win a national championship for Clemson. We got a couple more coming up here, so it is lots of good stuff. This parade is really cool. The weather's outstanding. The fans are packed 3 and 4 deep. As we look here, you see them. They've got their little cheering things, and phones are ready. You got babies. You got everything you could ever want. And here comes another giant tractor trailer full of Clemson Tigers. What could possibly be better than that? We'll identify some of them as they come through. We see Mitch Hyatt. He's the second one. He's the big left tackle. He played a huge role in this national championship game, trying to keep that big defensive line from Alabama away. Quarterback Deshaun Watson. There's Cleveland Farrow up there. Big Cleveland's a freshman. Oh, look at Christian Wilkins. He is dancing on the float. You see him waving his jacket around. Why do you have a funny feeling that parades and Christian Wilkins were going to go hand in hand? He certainly loves the attention. You gotta love his attitude. He's such a positive guy. He's always dancing. He's always moving. And you gotta keep this in mind. He's really good at football as well. He catches passes. He blocks on the offense. He also comes up with huge defensive plays. He leads the team in tackles for loss this season. And you look right beside him, there's the star of the show, Hunter Renfrow. He caught the game-winning touchdown with 1 second on the clock. Hunter Renfrow's on the cover of Sports Illustrated this week, and he is a forever legend as far as the Clemson Tigers are concerned. Christian getting him fired up right now as well. Lots of good stuff here. We're going to send it back to you, Fred and Tracy.
What do you dance move?
Todd, thank you. Hey, everybody is coming out for this celebration. Even Senator Lindsey Graham. How are you doing, sir? What do you think?
Good. I think this is awesome. I live 4 miles from here, so I'm glad they won it in my backyard.
You were on the floor of the Senate this week to acknowledge this football team. Remind us what you said.
I said that Clemson is the place you want to come if you want to be challenged academically, if you want to be part of something bigger than yourself, and you want to see good sports. We're in the top 20 of public university. This is not just about football. This is about a spirit. This is about an attitude that Dabo represents the best in college sports, and this team just rocks.
And Senator Graham, when you see all the fans that came out for this today, a lot of people talk about that Clemson family. I mean, you can see it right here today.
So I went to Carolina,
okay.
Full disclosure.
Right.
It is a family atmosphere. I grew up in Central, 5 miles from here. Now I live in Seneca, 4 miles on the other side. I came here when you could get a ticket for 50 cents.
Wow.
I came here when you came here to slide down the hill, not watch football. I've seen it change, but the one thing that hasn't changed is the family atmosphere and the family feeling. Even though they're the best football team in the country, they still focus on family, and this team is a family. Dabo Sweeney has brought a bunch of young kids together from different parts of the country, and they become a family, and that's why they won.
Senator Lindsey Graham, it is so great to have you with us. By the way, we got a little bit of a riser here. Enjoy the view, and thanks for being with us.
Tiger.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate
The
it.
Senate finally did something. We passed a resolution.
Thank you, sir. And it is passing by us right now. We can hear the band.
That's right. We've been waiting for this. You know the parade's with us now.
And the band is just passing right by us. That's a pretty cool shot.
Yep.
Our photographer there right in the middle of it.
He's the stationary photographer. He's not with the marching band, so I think he chose wisely there. So this parade beginning to make its way closer and closer now, coming through us. They're making the left-hand turn to close things out, as you can see right there, and they're going to go across the north side of Death Valley. That'll be the end of at least the parade portion of this, and then they're going to be starting to move then into the stadium itself. And of course, if you know Death Valley, the stage has been set up right near the bottom of the hill, and the fans are going to be seated out in front of them. There's a live look from inside, as you can see. There's that stage at about the 10 or the 20-yard line. That space right in front of where all those fans are lined up, that is what's going to be set up for the 1981 championship team, and the other folks are going to be here watching. But again, look at the number of fans that are just in the stadium waiting for them to get there.
Hey, and if you'll come back to us, we've got a pretty good Clemson Tigers fan. How you doing?
Doing wonderful. It's good to be in Tiger country today. Go Tigers.
Now tell us about your attire you've got going on.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, my wife, she made this for me, and actually I'm just just elated to be here today and just speechless.
Did you think this was going to happen, this championship win?
It was something magical because just so many things on so many different levels. I think what happened for most people, it was just an opportunity for everybody to just come together this year.
Well, you definitely win Best Dressed today. Best Dressed Clemson fan. Thank you, sir. Enjoy it.
All right, there's a beautiful look right now from Air 7. As you can see Death Valley right now, and of course those lower bowls are filling up. So is the west end zone as this parade continues. And again, the weather has worked out so well today. Probably a lot of people, obviously we have thousands watching us. There were probably thousands of people who thought maybe we'll go, maybe we'll not go. It was too beautiful a day for a lot of these people to miss it. So I'm going to try to guess how many folks are here.
No way. I mean, thousands and thousands. In fact, Clemson University, when we walked in this morning, we saw some of those guys preparing. They weren't even sure how many to prepare for, but we know they're prepared for at least, 50, 60,000, I heard?
That's what the number they were thinking of. Again, they didn't know they're prepared for that. We've got just a large number of support personnel here as they make their way. And they've got about 5 or 6 of the gates open, so everyone will either be in the lower bowl or on the field. But right now you're seeing some of those former players that are making their way along. Nice to see those letter jackets still fit.
Yeah. After all this time, yeah, it's pretty cool. This is so cool to be here in person, too, with all the fans. I mean, can't you just feel the energy out here today?
Yeah. I was really kind of wondering what it was going to be like, and it hit me right as soon as we got here. We walked in about 6:45, something like that. It was about 15 minutes before the gates opened, and there was just such a buzz here, and the stadium was all lit up. It was gorgeous, and again, there were thousands of people in line just to get into Death Valley then, as you're taking a live look at, again, some of the cars that are still in the parade making their way along.
And it looks like a lot of these people, the The players, the coaches, they're starting to get closer, making their way into Memorial Stadium for the big rally, which is planned for 10:30 this morning. You saw the stage earlier. Oh, and there's the Tiger getting a nice ride this morning.
Clemson Tiger just about to make our way right by us, as a matter of fact. The Clemson Tiger was on his way to the start of the parade earlier and passed by our location and got one of the biggest cheers, which was fun.
Fan favorite for sure.
Air 7 again giving another look from high above. And again, the coaches are riding in these fancy convertibles. The players are doing pretty well too, as you can see. And again, just look at the number of people behind us right now. I'm just, again, I continue to be astounded. Then again, I shouldn't be. These are Clemson Tiger fans. They supported. They had the majority of the stadium in Phoenix last year for the national championship game. Getting a lot of people to Phoenix in a short amount of time.
Not easy.
It's not easy. It's not inexpensive either.
Absolutely, but they showed up. Of course, they showed up again. We've been talking about it, and Tampa essentially made it a home game almost, the way they outnumbered those Alabama fans.
A lot of national media were talking about the fact that even before the game, when they were in the days before just going out, there was just such an orange vibe. They just said there was orange everywhere, which tells you a lot of people just wanted to be in Tampa. They didn't have tickets necessarily. They just wanted to be there to watch, even if they went down just to watch it on TV.
You know what's so cool, too, is that you really see the families in this area, the little ones who are already Clemson Tigers fans.
We got some of the right there, by the way, that is Clemson's Executive Director of Athletics, Dan Radakovich. As you can see over his right shoulder, Little John Coliseum reopened this year after just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful redevelopment of that facility.
And in fact, the parade's going to be wrapping up right before a noon basketball game here at Little John.
Clemson President Jim Clements there. As this parade continues. We saw the basketball team getting out about 8 or 8:15 this morning on their bus to head in. I guess they've got to be too focused on a big basketball game to actually have the chance to enjoy some of that with us.
You know what? I wonder if they had to get here earlier, too, because it is so crowded on campus right now. They probably had to get in a little bit earlier just to make their way in because, again, we are right by the Coliseum. This parade is passing right by it.
There's a live look at Death Valley, and again, they opened the gates at 7 o'clock this morning. You can see the number of people who are already in there. And again, most people, once they see the parade go past them, are then making their way here to get inside that facility for the big rally afterwards. So it's going to be a lot of fun as we get some extra Clemson fans here right by our location.
This almost looks like a game day, doesn't it?
It really is.
A stadium like this
It's going to really look like that once the rally starts. Katie Solt, by the way, she's with some of those fans.
Hey, Fred and Tracy, well, we are here. The players are about to show up. We just saw all the coaching staff. Dabo, of course, leading the crowd in that Clemson Tigers cheer. These guys could not be more pumped. Every time a coach or the coaching staff came by, they were cheering, looking for high fives, looking for thumbs up. Like you said, it's basically a game day here in Death Valley. There's so much orange and purple. There's signs everywhere. You can hear the trucks honking behind me. We saw Dabo, the biggest smile on his face. These fans are pumped. They are ready. They want to give Deshaun Watson and Ben Boulware those high fives. So right now we're going to send it back to you and give you a live look at the parade here as the players come by soon.
Sounds good. Thank you, Katie. And it looks like the parade is somewhat wrapping up. Started about 50 minutes ago now.
That's right. There's our look from our camera inside Death Valley. As you can see, fans beginning to really fill those seats in the blower bowls. And you can see a lot of fans on the field. Earlier, they replayed that championship game, although I guess they would have probably had to have played maybe only the highlights because that was a game that went over 4 hours. So if they were watching the entire game, they'd still be watching that and would be watching probably past all the speeches. There he is. There is Dabo Swinney. Given this job in 2008 on an interim basis, Terry Don Phillips, the athletic director at Clemson at the time, thought this was the guy to lead this program. It was a bit of a risk. I shouldn't say it was a bit of a risk because Dabo Swinney would tell you it was no risk at all. But a lot of the Clemson players, former players, we talked to, and Brenston Buckner, the assistant coach with the Cardinals, said, wide receivers coach, had never been a coordinator, offensive or defensive. But Terry Don Phillips recognized that this was a guy who could be the next great college football coach, and we're going to hear from Terry Don Phillips a little later on today. He decided this was the guy to lead this program, and what a great decision that was.
And Coach Dabo Swinney is passing right by where we are, and you can hear the fans just get really excited to see him up close and personal.
Dabo Swinney and the legendary Bud Wilkinson are the only two to ever play and serve as head coaches for a football team that won the national championship, at least as determined by the Associated Press. By the way, Dabo Swinney's record now as the Clemson head coach, 89-28. Winning percentage-wise, with that win Monday night, he passed Danny Ford for that spot, which is saying something. And here are the players and more of the coaches making our way. Also got a nice shot of that huge Clemson Tiger 18-wheeler. There's Brett Venables, the defensive coordinator. And boy, what a monster he has built here since joining this program several years ago. An intense guy and a guy who has just turned out tremendous defenses, such a huge part of building this program to one that's now won a national championship. There is Tony Elliott, co-offensive coordinator with his family, followed by Jeff Scott and his family, the other co-offensive coordinator. As we make our way up, you can see more of the assistant coaches.
And Fred, you can just tell not only the fans are enjoying it, they're enjoying it too. You know, coming
really
home and seeing how much they're appreciated here.
It's beginning to get really, really loud where we are, which is great. More and more of those Clemson coaches. Everybody making their way closer and closer to the end of this, at least the parade portion of today. Get on the left side of your screen, Air 7, they are rolling down. Looks like it's going to be pretty cool. They're rolling down. These players are going to run down the hill one more time.
How cool is that?
Maybe they'll walk to soak it in. It's the most exciting 25 seconds in college football as it's touted. I think for this occasion, take their time, let it stretch, and sink it all in. You know, it's funny, if you're not from this area and you move here, you're visiting a friend, you learn that very quickly, that little tidbit you just said. Yeah. And I believe we're going to go to Todd Summers now.
Yes, Fred. It is getting really, really loud over here. See if you can figure out why. Oh, there we see Ben Boulware and Deshaun Watson, and these fans are going crazy. If you look at them, they're on the roof, they're in the walkways, they're on the ground, there's kids on people's shoulders. This is what they have been waiting for the last hour. You're seeing the stars coming through now. I've seen Ben just soaking it in as he sits on top of the Jeep. Now Deshaun right now is smiling and waving at the fans. And you know, as he does that, every one of those guys just has a smile ear to ear because their favorite player just came by and waved and smiled at them. Here goes Carlos Watkins and Jadar Johnson. They're waving for the cameras and smiling. We got the big trailer right here with a bunch of stars coming. I see Cordray Tankersley. I see Artavis Scott. I see Mike Williams. There's a bunch of guys. Now, Artavis Scott and Mike Williams, they said earlier this week, this is it. They're going pro. It's time for the NFL. But one last thing they had to do before they left was come say thank you to these fans as they're on the back of the float, waving to them and smiling and having a good time. There's Artavis in the gray shirt. He's talking to Mike Williams right now. Cordray Tankersley sits beside Artavis. As they make the turn, Mike loses his balance. He's about to go down, but he's a pretty good athlete, so he doesn't fall. There's Wayne Gallman right here. Wayne Gallman's right here waving at the camera. If you look, he's a big part. He's a big part of the Tigers' success on the field as he scored a touchdown that gave them their first lead of the game in that national championship contest. So there's a tremendous amount of talent on this float right now, and you'll find out when the NFL draft comes along and you hear Artavis Scott's name called, and you hear Mike Williams' name called, and you hear Wayne Gallman's name called. So it's really cool to see these guys come through, and these fans are unbelievable. They're coming up the street your way right now, Fred. Right now, Tracy, you'll see them in just a moment. Here comes another trailer full of players. Deion Kane is the one standing up right now. He's a Tampa native. He said he couldn't wait to go back home and play for a national championship. He did that, and he won that title. Remember, a year ago, he had to miss that game because he had been suspended for the team for a violation of team rules. Well, he made up for it. He had the first big play in that national championship game. A quick little screen, and Deion Kane takes off and goes 43 yards for a huge first down. Kind of got the Tigers rolling a little bit. If you look on there, we also see C.J. Fuller, the Easley native. These are his people. He grew up here. He is here enjoying the love, having a good time. Christian Wilkins is hanging over the other side, messing with Ray McLeod. You see Kendall Joseph, the BHP alum. You know this means the world to him. He carries the Tiger paw with so much pride. He has told us on multiple occasions he's not just playing for himself and his teammates. He's playing for those guys and those people that have taught him in elementary school and middle school. You see him hamming it up for the camera, having a good time. These guys worked hard for this moment. It's time to let them relax a little bit and enjoy the championship parade. That's C.J. Fuller standing up right there. This is good stuff, Fred. We're coming your way. We're going to send it back to you for now. We'll see you in just a minute.
All right, thanks, Todd. Indeed, they are coming our way. By the way, I love that shot. It just seeing all those people up on the rooftop of that building looking down and have just such a great view of all of this as more and more of these folks make their way behind us here. And we're going to have those players behind us coming up in just a moment. But just what a day this is. What a morning.
I love their choice of transport.
Yes.
That's an 18-wheeler. That is awesome. I mean, this is a huge team, obviously.
Right.
So they're big guys.
It takes big vehicles to move some of these guys around. That is the absolute truth. But again, you can see them making the turn. They've come from Highway 93 down to Centennial Drive, and we're right at the corner of Centennial Drive and the Avenue of Champions. And the Avenue Champions now include the champion Clemson Tigers. By the way, this is the 5th team to have won a national championship at Clemson, the 2nd, of course, in the sport of football.
And there are so many people here. You're seeing how they're having to safely maneuver those big rigs in this crowd. You were saying at least, what, right now it looks like there's well over 10 deep around the stadium.
They're lined up the steps to go into the stadium, and as you can see, that's what's going on outside. Look at the thousands, tens of thousands of people that are inside Death Valley. So what a show it's going to be.
We are about 30 minutes out from the big celebration rally that's happening on the stage. You can see there on the field inside Memorial Stadium, where we will hear from Coach Dabo Swinney, many other coaches, and of course the key players.
We know we'll hear from Deshaun Watson. We know we will hear from Ben Boulware. We're told others will be taken along. So it is it's a great scene that you can see, and it's going to be continuing on as they make their way toward Death Valley. It has clouded up a little bit, but still very nice weather. I know yesterday we had temperatures in the 70s. We're in the 50s right now, but mid-January in South Carolina, we will definitely take that. By the way, in case you're just joining us right now, you are watching WSPA TV 7 News in Greenville, Spartanburg, Asheville, and Anderson. If you're joining us just now, you are watching right there Ben Boulware and Deshaun Watson as part of this Clemson National Championship Parade. Fred Cunningham with you, along with Tracy Early, Todd Summers, and Katie Solt, along with our Air 7 pilots and cameramen, high above to bring you this monumental morning for Clemson and this entire community.
And we've got the players passing by us right now as we give you this Air 7 view of Memorial Stadium. Again, it looks like a game day right now. These people showed up.
Exactly. It's almost like they probably want to see a game now, but these guys are done for the year. Think about that. 30 football games over the last 2 years.
We actually met a family who tailgated this morning at their local church nearby. They tailgated before the big celebration.
Another one of those Fight Tiger cheers going on behind us. They've been happening all morning long and for good reason. There's a keeper from that front page of a newspaper right there. Yep, it was one for the ages. What an amazing finish that was. I was watching like everybody else. I was at home watching with my wife and daughter, and when Alabama scored, my daughter for a moment ago was like, oh no, and I just said, there's a little over 2 minutes to go. Clemson's got 2 timeouts, and they got number 4. They needed almost the full 2 minutes, scoring with a second to go, but they got the job done.
It was just enough time. And we're starting to see more people filter into Memorial Stadium as the parade goes right by us and by Little John, and we're getting closer and closer to that big rally time.
It's getting a little bogged down behind us, and I can imagine the reason why is this is the dismount time, because we got these big vehicles. It takes a couple of minutes to get everybody off it, so the parade's slowing up just a little bit behind us, as you saw that college football van, the college football playoff van, which I would assume would have that trophy with it, that 24-karat, 52-pound trophy, which they have been bringing around the area today. Many of you got your opportunity to have your picture taken with it at some Walmarts in Easley and Central over the last few days. We had it in our studio.
Now, you weren't allowed to touch it, though, which I'm glad they told us, because the first thing you want to do is go up and grab it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure the players, though, they're okay.
Yeah, they kind of earned the right to touch it, and so do the coaches as well, but we had to keep our hands off it, as did everybody else. But after today, that trophy will then be handed over to Clemson for forever and ever. Todd Summers has more of the coverage along the parade route. Todd?
Absolutely, Fred. We're probably about 100 yards from where you are right now, and we can tell you what's coming. We got strength and conditioning coach Ben Batson right here. He's a big part of why these Tigers are where they are, going up against a team like Alabama. You got to be big, you got to be strong, you got to be fast. He's a big reason why they are all of those things. We're kind of bogged down a little bit. We've stopped rolling a little bit because there's so many fans here. There's so many things going on. If you look over my shoulder, you see the guy that most people have been waiting to see all day long. Deshaun Watson and Ben Boulware are sitting on top of that Jeep. They're not moving right now. I've seen them sign a couple autographs. A couple guys have thrown footballs their way. And these are the guys that they've been waiting for so long. We're kind of walking up on them right now as we're kind of bogged down. This is a great opportunity for fans to really get to see Deshaun Watson and Ben Boulware. They've got their helmets off. You can see them up close and personal. Deshaun flashing the #1 sign. Ben Boulware sitting up there. Deshaun's got the hat on that he got the night of the national championship game. They don't have the trophy yet, but if you saw him when he was holding that trophy, man, what a magical moment that was. Deshaun Watson finally got to put his hands on that national championship trophy. And what a game he had. Over 400 yards passing. He threw 3 touchdowns, ran for another, really put together an amazing performance. And he told me after the game that when he saw 2 minutes on the clock and they had the ball, he just smiled, went up to his teammates and said, guys, let's be legendary. He says he is prepared for moments like this. He enjoys the moment. He doesn't get nervous. He doesn't get scared. He says he came to Clemson to play in games like this. So when that stage was as big as it was, and some guys might get a little nervous or might get a little uptight, not Deshaun Watson. He knew he had worked hard. He had prepared. He said, we do 2-minute drill all the time. Yeah, they do 2-minute drill in practice when no one's watching. Let's see how you do on 2-minute drill when the world is watching. And we saw him march right down the field. He hit Jordan Leggett. He hit Mike Williams. And with the game on the line, a 5-star quarterback connected with a 2-star walk-on, Hunter Renfrow, for the game winner. And Dabo said in the press conference the following morning, he said, that's pretty much what the Clemson program is all about. A 5-star player like Deshaun Watson throwing to a former walk-on in Hunter Renfrow, because you know what? Best man plays. No guarantees. You may have 5 stars, 10 stars, however many stars you want. Best man is the one that's going to play. And there's some people that said Ben Boulware was never going to be a star here at Clemson. He said, you know what? He took some of that negativity, put it up where he could see it every day, and it motivated him. It drove him to be better and to be stronger, to be faster. And you know what? He's not the biggest linebacker you're going to see, but he's got enough heart for everybody on the whole team. And it was a special performance watching him go out there, get a couple tackles for loss, and lead this defensive unit against Alabama, completely shutting down their passing game and certainly limiting their running game pretty well as well. We are starting to move again, so as we move and they head your way, Fred, we're going to send it back to you.
And I really do think it's really cool to see Ben Boulware and Deshaun Watson together in that same vehicle, because you got one who was the recruit. We had heard about him for a couple of years before he got here, Deshaun Watson, who turned out to be one of those rare ones that turned out to be even better as a player and a person than you were told beforehand. And then you got someone like Ben Boulware, who grew up just down the road from here in Anderson, who went to T.L. Hanna High School and was a standout star there, and came here, and they got now their last college football games, the offensive and defensive MVPs.
And Fred, we've got a future Clemson cheerleader already decked out for it. How are you? Tell me your name.
Kelsey.
Kelsey, what do you think of this today?
Really awesome.
How long have you been a Clemson fan?
Well,
how old are you?
9.
So about 9 years. What's been your favorite part so far today?
Where I got to be on TV.
There you go. Right now. Very cool. Well, Kelsey, thank you for being here today. You want to give us a good Tigers cheer?
Yeah!
Hurrah! Thank you very well.
Thanks,
done.
Kelsey. I think Kelsey's going to be on the field maybe, 9? Okay.
Yeah.
In 10 years, you're going to be down there on that field.
Cheering them on.
There you go.
Thank you.
So the parade kind of moving again behind us. We're seeing more and more of the players making their way across. You can also, by the way, you can see behind me, you can see that big 18-wheeler. I'm going to give a quick shout-out to the support staff at Clemson, because those are the guys that don't get a lot of credit, because when the team won in Phoenix and jumped on the plane and came back and celebrated, the support staff had to drive that 18-wheeler with all their equipment, with all their gear, all the way back from the desert to here, and then turn around probably in a matter of hours, not days, to restock and get ready to make that trip to Tampa. And when the plane came back from Tampa, these guys were probably on the road someplace. They couldn't play the game without them. So, again, congratulations to the support staff at Clemson for the job that they do.
Yeah, you forget about how many people it takes to make this team a success, any team a success, but you're absolutely right. I mean, there's so many people behind the scenes who are here today helping to make this happen this morning as well. We've got Katie Salt. She is heading into the stadium right now. We're going to hear from her in a little bit. She's going to be getting set up so we can get a better feel inside the stadium, talking to fans there. We've had Todd Summers all morning talking to the players, and it's cool to see a lot of the former players who've shown up today.
Yeah, we've so far talked to, first of all, he found a couple of quarterbacks very quickly. He found Charlie Whitehurst, who led a terrific Clemson football season back in 2003. Woody Dantzler, who is still one of the most electrifying players ever at Clemson, and that's saying something just if you think in recent years with Deshaun Watson and Sammy Watkins and Nuke Hopkins. And we have seen a lot of players. They're on the right side of your screen. Those are probably, along with Dabo Swinney, the 3 most desired autographs you can find in this town and in this state.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a lot of people show up. They're approaching where we are right now. So they're right by Little John Coliseum, so it's about to get pretty loud here.
Again, Deshaun Watson, who announced something that everybody was anticipating, that Monday night's game was his final as a Clemson Tiger. He'll be on his way to the NFL, but also keep in mind he's already graduated from Clemson, already has his degree, and Ben Boulware, his college career has come to an end, but what a way it came to an end. Defensive MVP, winner of the Jack Lambert Trophy for the nation's outstanding linebacker, all ACC, and again, the heart and soul of that defense. They're about, I'm guessing, in golf yardage, they're about 25 yards behind us right now.
And it has taken, there are so many fans here. You know, this started at 9. It's about a mile, what was it, about a mile stretch the parade
We're guessing
route?
about a mile. They kind of crisscrossed their way to get here from downtown. Coming here, they went around Riggs Field and right down Centennial Drive between Riggs Field and Littlejohn Coliseum, but they still have to make their way, just as Sean and Ben behind us, they got to make their way all the way down on the north side of Death Valley before they'll be able to make their way out and get into the stadium. We're scheduled to start the rally in 20 minutes. It might be a little bit later just because of the length of this parade and the thousands of people they're trying to make their way through right now.
And here's a look at that parade route Fred was just mentioning, where the finish and, of course, ending at Memorial Stadium. And, you know, I think they were expecting, what, 50 to 60,000? I think we might just get that today.
I think we might clear it, and I think we might get a better idea of once we get that rally started and see how many people are in the stadium. A lot of people are here, might not have gone inside, but it's going to be quite a day here. And, of course, they got a sold-out basketball game that tips off at noon at the arena right behind us, a monster game as Clemson takes on Virginia with that noon tip-off. But, again, there's a great look right there. Deshaun Watson and Ben Boulware, and Katie Solt is back with some more of the fans.
Well, Fred and Tracy, it feels like a football game right now. You can see, check out all of this orange and purple fans on the field. How many Clemson fans can say they are on the field getting ready to celebrate that national championship win? Listen to this. Listen to how excited these guys are. It literally looks like a football game in here right now. These guys did not disappoint. They're starting to fill that upper deck level because, like you said, in just about 20 to 30 minutes, those players and those coaches are going to be on the stage getting ready to say thank you and to show off that new hardware. So we'll be bringing you more from inside the stadium, too. But right now, we'll send it back to you guys. There's Dabo coming down the field right now. Dabo Sweeney has made his way in. Dabo Sweeney has just come into Death Valley, so it's going to be a great one. Sending it back to you right now.
I love it. I love the play-by-play from Katie. Play-by-play from Katie Solt inside Memorial Stadium.
Well, as you can see from that Air 7 view, it is really beginning to fill up in there, and now I'm really beginning to wonder. I know that the estimates, again, you mentioned 50 to 60,000, definitely on the high side of that, because if we've got a lot of the fans outside that still want to make their way in, man, that's going to be one filled stadium. It is going to look like a Saturday in September instead of a Saturday in January.
And maybe we can get, if we can get the Charlie, who's manning our camera, just to pan over, just so you can see the sheer amount of fans just outside the stadium that Fred mentioned. I mean, look how many people are here. This is still outside of the stadium, who many will try to make their way inside as well.
Yeah, Charlie making his
just
way
see the
with
depth.
That camera turn. There you can see it. That is the Avenue of Champions, as you can see. And it's almost at this point, it's hard to tell what's the parade and what are all the fans. And we've gone from 10 deep to about 15 deep at this point. More of the players continuing on the right side of your screen. And on the left side, that is the stage setup where the team will be as they get ready for that rally that'll be happening soon.
We're going to go
with Todd Summers.
All right, stand by. I'm going to start up here. We just walked inside the stadium. Wow, what a sight. The entire lower bowl is absolutely jam-packed. We saw all kinds of fans out on the streets, too. This must be the entire city of Clemson. If you look, you see Dabo Sweeney is already inside the stadium right now. As we look behind us, we got Tony Elliott, the offensive coordinator, walking down the hill right now. No, he's not running down the hill, but he is walking down the hill with his two young sons and his wife as well. We did a great story on them when we were down there in Tampa. Christine Scarpelli and Ryan Goodman put that together. What a story it was. You're seeing the assistant coaches come walking in right now. Here comes Jeff Scott. He knows what it's like to run down the hill. He's walking down the hill with his daughter and his wife right now, checking his phone real quick, probably making sure, one recruit or so, dialed in. Oh, no, he's taking a selfie as he walks down because of what this means to him and his family. He knows what it's like to be a Clemson Tiger as a player and a coach. Here comes defensive line coach Marion Hobby. He's walking down the hill right now. What a job that guy did this season with that defensive line. Dexter Lawrence, Christian Wilkins, Cleveland Farrell, all those guys that were disrupting pass rushers every single game they played. And here comes Dan Brooks. He's a long-time assistant coach. He announced yesterday that this is it for him. He's retiring. Well-deserved for Dan Brooks as he says goodbye, leaving Clemson University as a national champion. He's worked really hard for this. He's been on a lot of different staffs. He's been here for about a decade. He is saying goodbye as well. Here comes Robbie Caldwell, the offensive line coach. He's walking down. He spent a short time as the Vanderbilt head coach, and he's done a great job with these offensive linemen as well. He's done a great job. And more assistant coaches are filing in. We're going to see the players here shortly. Hopefully we'll be able to chat with one or two of them here in just a few minutes. For now, we're going to send it back outside to Fred and Tracy.
All right, thanks, Todd. And again, a great view that he's got right there. He's on the hill, again, where I said the greatest 25 seconds in college football happens, but today it's more like the greatest 2 minutes because you want to soak in every minute of that walk. And look at what they're walking into. They're coming down. You can see that Clemson ribbon, that carpet right there, and that's what they're walking into. And it's just a remarkable scene. You can see now people are beginning to fill into the upper decks
I mean, how
of Death
cool
Valley.
is this? This is such an awesome vibe out here this morning. There are so many people out here, and it's really getting jam-packed where we are, too. Again, right by Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, we got a lot more of the players right now. They're actually making their way behind us in those flatbed trucks. You know, it's more than just 85 players. You know, 85 players on scholarship. You've got lots of walk-ons and a lot of other people. You've got a roster of well over 100 players, and they are all soaking in just this magnificent morning for Clemson football.
You are watching special coverage of the Clemson Tigers Championship Parade here on WSPA 7 News this morning. The parade got underway about 9. Oh, we've got a special guest right now.
Yeah, we're going to, we want to show you right now, we've got the Mini Rock. What is this?
This is the Mini Rock.
Your name is?
It's Curtis Taylor.
Curtis, where are you from?
From Greenville.
All right, Curtis, thanks for bringing that.
Absolutely.
Brother, for good luck. We want to have a good second half of our broadcast. Thanks for being here. I think we're going to go inside. I think we're going to check back in with Todd Summers.
You're seeing our logo. That's now the Scroll of Honor. It's a beautiful park, probably 4 or 5 acres. It used to be where...
Absolutely. We got a big star here. Coach Scott, as you make that walk, Jeff Scott, offensive coordinator, and you see all those Clemson fans. You were a player here. You've been a coach here. And then you come inside and you see tens of thousands more. What does that mean to you?
It's really unbelievable. You know, I just remember my freshman year in 1999, you know, coming here as a freshman, excited about being able to play football, and then being here the last 9 years as a coach. From the very beginning with Coach Sweeney. You know, this is the type of day that we really dreamed about for a long time, and, you know, to see that dream come to reality is just very, very special, very humbling, and just to see what this national championship meant to so many of these Clemson fans is really the biggest thing that I took away from today.
As you're riding along in the parade and you see so many little guys with Clemson jerseys on, so many older people that have waited so many years, what's going through your mind? Because you had a lot of time to kind of sit and soak it in for the last hour.
Just how much Clemson University and Clemson football mean to them. I mean, you can tell the genuine joy and happiness that you can see in so many of the fans. And so many years, it's been a long time, 35 years, it's been a long time. And to be able to get back to that mountaintop, I think it means just as much to the fans as it does to our players and coaches.
6 seconds on the clock. You got one play to win a national title. You've dreamed of it. This was your play. You were adamant to Coach Sweeney, I want to run the play to Hunter Renfrow to win the title. Why were you so confident that play was going to work, and what was it like when it did?
You know, everything just happened really fast. I've actually asked a few of the coaches, what exactly did I say? Because I really don't remember it. Your instincts just kind of take over. But that was a play that we felt like going into the game was going to be successful based off of our film study throughout the week, and it was one that we really wanted to save for the fourth quarter in case there was a situation like that. So we got down there. We were on, the left hash, which was just right for that play, and it all happened really quick, and really proud of the way the guys executed.
Outstanding. Jeff Scott, thank you very much. Congratulations. And it's safe to say that play worked absolutely perfectly as Hunter Renfro brings it down, 1 second on the clock, and the Tigers have the lead in the national championship. That guy is a big reason why, because he recruits the guys to be here, and he does a great job on game day helping to call the plays as well. We are live inside Death Valley. Let's send it back outside to Fred and Tracy.
All right, thanks, Todd. And, of course, everything out here is heading your and Katie Solt's way. They're both right now on the floor, Death Valley right there on the field, as we are going to be coming up very soon with the start of what's going to be just a tremendous rally. It's going to be so much fun to hear from Dabo Sweeney, and you're going to hear from Deshaun Watson and the school president. You're going to hear so many folks. We've only just started here on a Saturday morning.
That's right, and we're starting to see, as you mentioned, the fans, they were jam-packed around us, and now people are starting to make their way inside. So if you think Memorial Stadium is packed now, give it a couple minutes, because there are still thousands of people outside of the stadium right now making their way from the parade route to get inside.
It is scheduled to start at 10:30. It might just go a little bit later as a result of just this. It takes a while to get this many folks there and get them off those vehicles and getting them down and assembled on the field. But right now we're giving you just a couple of looks. Air 7's been giving you just some amazing pictures this morning, and just look at all those. And on the right side of your screen, we've got our camera that's set up in the lower bowl in the west end zone here at Clemson. And again, tens and tens of thousands of people have come here to just celebrate this. So many went to Tampa and got to be there on that day, but this is the day that they bring it back to the upstate and everybody really gets to celebrate.
Fans have been waiting for this for a long time. We saw that just the people who showed up to see the championship trophy in person, and Todd Summers, we're going to toss it back to him in the stadium.
Absolutely. We got an all-time Clemson great with us now, C.J. Spiller. When you walk in this stadium and you see all these fans that have come out not to watch a game, but to celebrate what Clemson did, as a former player, what does that mean?
Well, I'm not surprised, because it's been a long time coming. And these fans, they deserve it. The players deserve it. You see a bunch of former guys here. I mean, this team here really, they touch the lives of many people. And I think that's what's great about football, that it just brings a whole, it can bring a lot of people together. And right now we're just having one big Clemson family party.
Dabo Sweeney said that when he was recruiting you, he was selling you a dream. He was selling you something that could be. Now he's selling results. What was it when you talked with Coach Sweeney that made it such a good fit? Clemson hadn't won a title since '81. You could have gone somewhere else and played football for a team that had won titles more recently. But you came here and you kind of got things started for this Clemson program where they're starting to get 5-star guys and 4-star guys and 5-star guys. What was it about the team back then that you saw that they could do this?
Well, I mean, I really didn't know much about Clemson, until I came on my visit and started getting recruited. I'm really so grateful that he even gave me an opportunity to come on a visit, because he didn't think I'll do it. And once I did, I knew that this place was going to be special for me and for him. And, the one of the things that he always told me, it was like, why would you want to go to somebody else's backyard when you can have your own? And that kind of stuck with me leading up to signing day, because, like you said, it was a bunch of schools coming at me. And, Clemson wasn't really getting the love during that time, during the recruiting process. And once he said those words, it kind of really made sense. Why go to somebody else's backyard when you can have your own and you can be out there amongst your buddies and help build something special?
And there's no doubt C.J. Spiller is an absolute Clemson legend today. When you're watching that game on Monday night and you're seeing it come down to the fourth quarter and you see Clemson get the ball back with 2 minutes to go, down 3, what was going through your mind?
I knew they was in trouble, because if you ever watch Deshaun Watson play, his composure, his belief in his ability, his belief in his teammates to make plays, you knew that Clemson had a chance of winning it. And once I seen them take the field, I knew they were going to be national champions. So, I mean, they couldn't have drawn it up better. You got the number 1 offense going against the number 1 defense, and it comes down to who can make the plays, and our guys make the plays.
Tell me your feeling when Hunter Renfrow, the two-star former walk-on, makes the catch to win the national title. What was going through C.J. Spiller's head at that time?
A couple tears. It was finally, the wait was over. The wait was over. 35 years since this university, this program, they waited to have a day like today. And, you know, Hunter, he's the Bama killer. He's the Bama killer. That's what I call him, Bama killer. And when I seen him make that catch, I just knew a lot of people in the state of South Carolina and around the country was going to be happy.
C.J. Spiller, thank you very much. And he knows what he speaks, the Bama killer. Hunter Renfrow has caught 4 touchdowns against Alabama in just 2 games, and both of those were national championship contests, and the last one was the catch that won them the national title. We are live inside Death Valley. Let's send it back outside to Fred and Tracy.
Thanks, Todd. It was great to see C.J. Spiller here. He was a great star at Clemson at the time. At one point, you had C.J. Spiller, you had James Davis at running back. They called them Thunder and Lightning. That's what they were. They were an exciting couple of running backs, part of some great Clemson football teams back in the 2000s. And now here we are, 2017, honoring the 2016 champions as they make their way into the stadium.
By the way, you can see that it's kind of, the crowd has dispersed behind us.
They're all in there.
Inside now. Katie Salt, she's also inside the stadium. Hey, Katie.
Hey, Fred and Tracy, I want to introduce you to probably the youngest Clemson fan. This is Baby Banks. He is 2 weeks old. We are joined now with Mom and Dad, Zach and Taylor, so you guys have quite the story. Tell us a little bit about how you are another definition of an all-in family.
Okay. Well, we met our sophomore year here at Clemson. She sat beside me in one of our classes, and we kind of hit it off. And we got married here, and we named him after Banks McFadden.
So, I mean, I can't get enough of this baby. He is in his Clemson Tiger Paw shirt, his beanie. He is, Fred and Tracy, he is asleep. I'm telling you what, even through all the cheers and the screaming, he is asleep. So how does it feel as a family to be able to experience this when he's not even a month old? Mom, how does it feel?
It feels great. Whenever he gets older, we're going to tell him about it and show him pictures and everything. And we're going to let him know, you know, we missed the national championship for you. We missed the Ohio State game for you. So, you know, he has a lot. He's got a lot to live up to.
So do you think that we're going to see him on the field tonight? He's already starting young on the field. Dad, do you hope to see him on the field?
Well, right now he's 2-0, so hopefully we'll keep that streak up and see him here in the future.
All right, and we're going to continue bringing you updates from here inside the stadium, but for right now, let's send it back over to Todd Summers.
Hey, we are inside the Valley. We got defensive ends coach Marion Hobby joining us now. Coach, tell me about your defense on that big stage. There were a couple busts along the way, but there were about half the plays where they got 0 or minus yardage.
Well,
What an effort.
When you're playing against a great team like Alabama, you know they're going to have the opportunities to make plays. You know, we just stayed the course. Told our guys don't get rattled. They understood it was more of what we did rather than what they did. And we knew we were going to play 4 quarters of football, so we never got rattled about it.
Tell me about the personalities on that D-line. We did a story a couple weeks ago on Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence and Cleveland Farrell and Carlos Watkins. Not only are they great players, but those personalities.
Man, that personality is a great app. They work hard. We love them. So I'm sorry, but I got to get on stage before I get in trouble. I'll see you guys.
Thank you. See that? They're calling them up to the stage right now. We're trying to get you every interview, get you every angle we possibly can. The action's starting to heat up inside the Valley. They're going to step to the stage and start talking in just a few minutes. For now, let's send it back out to Fred and Tracy.
And the dedicated loyal supporters.
All right, thanks, Todd. Of course, it's just minutes away from that rally starting in the stadium. We're going to hear from so many people. I know you want to hear from Dabo Swinney. You want to hear from Ben Boulware. You want to hear from Deshaun Watson. Stay right here on 7 News. We will have that for you coming up in just a matter of minutes.
I love Katie Salt, the 2-week-old fan.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad said 2-0 so far. You know? Pretty good record.
Well put.
Yeah.
By the way, remember Greenville Hospital System, we showed this during the week. They gave Clemson onesies to all the babies that were born in the hospital system that day. And by the time that day was done, over 4 hospitals, they had 22 newborns wearing onesies. They had one who turned them down.
The family, they were Alabama fans. So you can understand. They didn't want their newborn wearing a Clemson onesie.
Especially after what happened Monday night and Tuesday morning. And again, you're looking right now inside that stadium that is really, really filling up. So many people who have lined the parade route, 10 and 15 deep for a mile. Just start doing the math on that from downtown to here, have now made their way in the stadium to hear from all the folks that are going to coming up in a matter of moments.
The rally is scheduled to start at 10:30. We are right at that time now. There were so many fans here. It took the parade probably a little bit longer than what a lot of people were expecting because there's just so many people that showed up. But as you just heard when Todd Summers was out there, they were doing a roll call at least. They're starting to get the coaches up there and the players to begin the speeches soon.
I think on the left side of your screen, I think you're looking at one of the vehicles, the one that carried Ben Boulware and Deshaun Watson through all this adoration that they received to make their way here. And again, it is what a morning here at Clemson. We don't see this very often.
No, and the rain,
35 years apart.
The rain has held out so far, thankfully, today. So the weather, I mean, you couldn't ask for better weather this time of year for an outdoor celebration this size. I mean, look at how many fans are here. We talked about this earlier. They're expecting 50, 60,000. It looks like they're going to definitely match what they were expecting.
Absolutely, and there are those players right there at the top of the hill. You can see right there in the middle, there is Ben Boulware. To the left side of your screen, you can see Deshaun Watson and just some of the stars, and they're going to get to come down the hill one more time for a lot of these guys, obviously as seniors or departing for the NFL. This will be their last time to do this, but it's certainly the last time for this 2016, and now it's good to extend a season into a new year. That's always a good sign.
And Fred, I'm just getting word, this is how packed the stadium is. They've closed the side off that we're on, and they're putting people now, filling people in the upper deck. This goes to show you how many people showed up today.
I think they were only expecting to need the lower bowl and the folks on the field, but now they are going into the upper decks. So it's going to be a packed house. It's going to look like a football Saturday afternoon, but instead this is a football celebration Saturday morning.
Yeah, and you know, it's more than just local fans that have showed up. Talked to a family who came from Atlanta, woke up really early this morning to be here. Of course, they've got some pretty cool ties. It was the mom of one of the players, the grandmother, who is also the son of one of the players on that 1981 championship team. There's a lot of cool ties to that. You were saying how many father-son duos?
5 father-son duos between dads who played in 1981 and their sons are on this 2016 championship team. Jeff Davis's son, Judah, is just one of them. Of course, Jeff Davis was just such a rock, the absolute leader of that Clemson football team in 1981, coached by Danny Ford, but now it's a national championship team coached by Dabo Swinney as these guys make their way down that Clemson orange carpet. And again, they're going a lot slower and sinking it all in than they normally do when they play a game here.
Come to me and I start talking on this mic.
We've got Katie Sold and Todd Summers. They are inside the stadium as well. We've heard from a ton of fans. Todd has talked to a lot of former players who've showed up as well. It's been pretty cool to see these former players come back in town for this, too.
That is true. He's talked to Charlie Whitehurst so far. He talked to Woody Dance a little bit earlier, and once he got to the stadium, we've heard from Jeff Scott, Marion Hobby, the defensive ends coach. So we've heard from a lot of people. C.J. Spiller, another former star, a great star at Clemson. And again, you just have to think about what this team has accomplished in winning this school's second national championship in the span of less than 10 days. For the first time in school history, they beat in the AP poll the #1 and #2 ranked teams in Alabama and Ohio State. Think of what Dabo Swinney's done. In that span, he won games against teams coached by Urban Meyer and Nick Saban. If that's not impressive in college coaching, I don't know what is.
Just Dabo Swinney's entire backstory is just amazing, what he's been through and what he's overcome in his life. He's just so well respected as a coach and just a person.
Yeah, and I mentioned a little bit earlier, Terry Don Phillips was the athletic director at the time, and he recognized in 2008 when he made a coaching change, he did it during the season, so he needed someone to take over and at least get them through the rest of that regular season. In 2008, he had a wide receivers coach who had never been a coordinator named Dabo Swinney, and he said, this is the guy who not only finished that season, but then was named the permanent head coach. And here's one thing that Clemson did this year, and this is one of my favorite numbers about this team. They beat Auburn, Florida State, Ohio State, and Alabama. Those are the programs that have won each of the previous 7 national championships. And they beat all 4 of those teams in the same year, which is remarkable. And none of those games, none of those victories, by the way, came here at Death Valley, all either on the road or on neutral sites.
Let's listen in now to Memorial Stadium.
Hey, we are inside the stadium. You look right now, you can see Deshaun Watson is on the stage. Jay Guillermo is there. You see Ben Boulware, President Clements, Carlos Watkins, Jordan Leggett's up there. They're just kind of looking around, soaking it in. Jadar Johnson. Wayne Gallman's got a huge smile on his face. And here comes another batch of Tigers coming down the hill as we speak. The fans are starting to cheer very loudly. Here comes Dexter Lawrence with a big old smile and a parade wave as he comes down the hill. And you're seeing other teammates as they walk down. Tavian Feaster touches the rock right now. He gets ready to walk down the hill. He will have to play a huge role in next year's team as Wayne Gallman departs for the NFL. Tavian Feaster will likely be the starting running back. That is Spartanburg's own Tavian Feaster. He said he learned a lot this year sitting behind Wayne Gallman, and he is ready for his opportunity to shine when he gets that shot next year. You can see him on stage kind of getting ready. There's defensive coordinator Brent Venables, offensive coordinator Jeff Scott is there, and here comes some more Tigers as they come down the hill here in the valley. Look at them, feeling the love. They're a little bit surprised. Probably not, because they know the Tiger fans are among the best in the country as they come in. And the entire lower bowl was packed. Part of the upper bowl was packed. I mean, we're talking about a pretty special scene here in the valley as you look and see all these people that have waited for their Tigers to come and celebrate a national championship. It's about to get going here in just a couple minutes. Let's send it back outside to Fred and Tracy.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and now listen in to what's about to happen here as this rally is just about ready to begin on the floor of Death Valley. As you can see from Air 7 on the left side of your screen, the tens and tens of thousands of people who have gathered here at Memorial Stadium to celebrate this 2016 National Championship football team.
Everything over, sit down with my family. I decided to attend. Clemson University.
The last time we gathered here in Death Valley,
our Tigers prevailed with the largest margin of victory
by an ACC team over an SEC team ever. Today, we gather to celebrate our second national title in football and honor our head coach that made it happen, Dabo Swinney, his staff, and players. The CFP trophy is here, the golden scepter, the crystal ball is here, and they will be presented to the new kings of college football, and long live the king. To kick things off, here's a short recap of the national championship.
Look, the wolf won the hill, right? Not as hungry as the wolf climbing. There's no doubt that we need that. It won't be 34 years before we go through that. Watson puts it high, and King free. King with great speed. 25 makes it this. This is the 30. Coming outside. It's a 35. 45 for the goal. Watson will keep it. Gets the 5. Puts it upfield. Into the
At this time, I'd like to introduce the man that actually called the final score before the game, 35-31. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the best president of any college or university in the United States, Jim Clements.
Thank you, Don. Good morning. Go Tigers! Thank you all for being here to celebrate with us. And thank you to the City of Clemson, Mayor J.C. Cook, and the City Council for hosting the parade. You were great partners and are proud to call Clemson our home. Would you please help me thank him? And I want to say congratulations to the best coach in college football, Coach Dabo Swinney. And congratulations to this team. How about those Tigers? National champs. With 10 or more wins. You know, besides us, there's only one other program in the country with 6 straight seasons of 10 or more wins, and we just beat them. And we should all be proud of the fact that when Time magazine ranked the top 25 teams in terms of academic performance, the top 2 schools were Clemson and a little school out west who wants to be like us named Stanford. What Dabo Swinney has done with this program is nothing short of amazing. I want to say thank you to all of you, our incredible fans, for your loyal support over many, many years. I can say, without a doubt, that Clemson has the best fans in the country. And I know that your support means the world to this team. I can also say at Clemson, we have the perfect combination of world-class academic programs and top-notch athletic programs. The number of proclamations we received this week has been amazing. One from Senator Lindsey Graham is here with us today. Would you please help me thank Senator Graham? One from Senator Tim Scott. One from Governor Nikki Haley. And many others. I honestly believe the value of the Tiger Ball has never been higher. And the best is yet to come. It is now my pleasure to introduce our athletics director, Dan Radakovich. Dan is a nationally recognized leader who has provided incredible leadership for us. He has made sure that best really is the standard at Clemson. And you can see the results in our amazing new facilities and in the success of our athletics program. Dan, thank you for your vision and your incredible leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Radakovich.
Thank you, President Clemens. He is, without a doubt, the best president in the country. Let's give him another round of applause. Thank you all so much for being here today. What a time to be a Tiger. Since we last saw you here at Memorial Stadium, we've been to Orlando, we've been to Phoenix, we've been to Tampa. And the best fans in the country have been with us every step of the way. From pizza parties to parades, thank you, fans. I could not be prouder of Coach Swinney, his staff, and the players as to how they've represented the university, our community, and the entire state of South Carolina. President Clemens mentioned some of the stats from the past few years, but how about this one? 14 student athletes who already received their Clemson diploma played in the national championship game. Now it is my honor to introduce some folks with some really cool hardware. Joining us from the American Football Coaches Association is Associate Executive Director Gary Darnell and the Managing Director of Amway North America, Jim Ayers. Gentlemen.
think one thing we all know for sure, it ain't going to rain on the Clemson Tiger Parade. With me is Jim Ayers, Managing Director of Amway North America and the presenting sponsor of the Coach's Trophy. I have a message from Todd Berry, our Executive Director of the American Football Coach Association, to the Clemson Nation. That message is, congratulations to you, Coach Sweeney, your staff, your family, your team, and to the great Clemson University. Those in attendance at the National Championship game and the millions watching on television witnessed one of the great stories in the history of college football. They saw a college football program arrive at success through a process of commitment, dedication, toughness, and faith for one another that no other team in the country could match. Trophy presented by Amway has served as a symbol of supremacy in college football since 1986. Today, on behalf of the American Football Coaches Association Board of Trustees, our 12,000 member coaches with 63 coaches who serve on the Board of Voters, please accept the AFCA Coaches Trophy presented by Amway, the symbol of college football supremacy. So, Coach Sweeney, come on, man. We now ask you to accept this trophy by lifting the crystal ball off its pedestal and raising it high in salute to your university, coaches and families, your team, and all of the great
the Executive Director of the College Football Playoff, is here to present the CFP National Championship Trophy.
Good morning, everyone. Our CFP selection committee do something. And now the rest of the world goes to know too. This is a special group of people behind me. Now, President Clemens, Dan Radakovich, I'm here on behalf of the conferences and the schools that manage the college football playoff. It is my unique privilege to present the National Championship Trophy to Coach Dabo Sweeney and the Clemson Tigers.
before we let Coach talk, just want to recognize some of the accomplishments of the team and of our players. And let's just start with some of the team accomplishments from this year. Clemson achieved the national championship by playing the nation's most difficult schedule according to the NCAA. This year, Clemson opponents were 107 and 51 when not playing Clemson. That's a winning percentage of 67.7 and the best in the nation. Clemson is just the 6th national champion since 1977 to have played the nation's most difficult schedule the season that they won the title. Clemson defeated 11 FBS schools who finished the season with a winning record, including 5 who won at least 10 games and 6 who finished in the top 25 of the AP poll. Clemson defeated number 1 Alabama to win the national championship. Clemson has beaten the number 1 team in football. In the college football playoff semifinals, Clemson defeated number 2 Ohio State 31. It marked the first time that Clemson had beaten the nation's number 2 ranked team. Clemson had been 0-9 in history against the nation's top 3 teams prior to this year, and then defeated both in consecutive games 9 days apart. Clemson this season ended up beating the number 1, the number 2, and number 3 ranked teams in the country. The final number 1 ranking was the 24th consecutive AP poll. Clemson has been ranked in the top 5, the longest active streak in the nation. Alabama is now second with 22. Clemson defeated Auburn, Florida State, Ohio State, and Alabama this year. All programs that had won each of the last 7 national championships prior to this season. Player accomplishments included all ACC members, Ben Boulware, Tyrone Crowder, Wayne Gallman, Jake Arrow, Greg Hugel, Mitch Hyatt, Jadar Johnson, Dexter Lawrence, Jordan Leggett, Artavis Scott, Van Smith, Cordray Tankersley, Carlos Watkins, Deshaun Watson, Mike Wade. All-Americans included Ben Boulware, Jordan Leggett, Cordray Tankersley, Carlos Watkins, Deshaun Watson, Christian Wilkins, and Mike Williams. Freshman All-American, Dexter Lawrence. And National Award winners. 4, you're going to have to stand up. Go on, stand up. Deshaun Watson. coaches. Dan Brooks, Brent Venables, stand up. Come on, Green Bean. Stand up. Stand up. There you go, Jimmy Green Bean. There we go. Dan Brooks won the American Football Coaches Association Assistant Coach of the Year. And Brent Venables, the Frank Royals Award as Assistant Coach of the Year. And finally, our head coach, Dabo Sweeney. Became the first coach in the country to win the Bear Bryant Award as National Coach of the Year twice, and he did it back to back. All right, now we need to let you hear from some players. So we're going to let the players get up here. Grab the mic. Coach, I know that you've assigned players to do this. I think it's probably we'll start with Deshaun Watson. Come on up here.
Thank you, Deshaun! Go Tigers.
First off, I just want to thank all you fans. These past 2 years has been probably the best experience of my life, and I've enjoyed every single moment. So thank you for all the support, the love, and just making this university the best university in the country.
What?
I also want to thank my teammates, my coaches, everyone that's a part of this staff. Thank you for everything. Just treating us right, making sure we become men and the best football players on the field. And just everything that we put in and all the work that we put in, it's coming to show now. So it's a blessing to let the world see what Clemson is all about. It's a special place. I just thank everyone that wants to be here. Go Tigers.
Thank you, Sean. Senator Jake Airman, come on up here. Mike's all yours, brother.
Just want to say I appreciate all you fans showing up, always faithful, rain, no matter what, over these past 5 years, showing us support. And one person I really want to give thanks to is Robbie Caldwell, my offensive line coach. Wouldn't be here without him. He's the best offensive line coach in the nation. And I love you, Coach. And thanks for everything you've done.
Thank you, Jay. Up next is linebacker Ben Boulware.
Mine might be a little longer than everybody else's.
We love you, man!
I grew up in this area.
Yeah!
I'm one of y'all. 1 Corinthians 9:24. It says, in a race, everyone runs, but only one wins first prize. So run your race in a way to win. And our team did that all year. From the start, the whole season worked out. To the very last snap, Monday night's game, we ran. We controlled the input, we controlled what I put in our body, we controlled our mindset, our attitude every day at practice, and we let the output take care of itself. We didn't care. We had to go across the country, playing Ohio State, we were underdogs. We focused on us, we controlled our input, and we took care of that game. We didn't care if we were playing Big Bad Alabama. We focused on us. We took care of us in that game. So I'm really so thankful for y'all. I'm so thankful for this community. I'm so thankful for guys like Stephon Anthony, Grady Jarrett, and Eric McClain that taught me how to be a leader. And not by the word, by the action. So thankful for guys like Todd Boyd, CJ Spiller, exhausted so much into this program and university to get it where it is today. I'm so thankful for Coach Sweeney for giving me the opportunity to play here. I'm so thankful for Coach Bean. I love him like a father. So thankful for this university, the opportunity I've been given, the platform that I've been placed on. I'm just glad to turn this back home, y'all. I love y'all.
Now you see why Coach Sweeney told the guys in the locker room that Love was going to win this thing. There it is right there on display. And you all know defensive tackle Carlos Watkins.
I just want to thank y'all for everything y'all have done. Being there the whole season, through the thick and thin, y'all really have played a big part in this role. I just want to thank the coaches, Coach Sweeney. Thank you for this opportunity. I just want to thank all my brothers, for just believing in me, giving my chance. And most of all, just for teaching me how to be a man. You can't thank them enough, man. I just want to thank my brothers for everything they did, everything we've been through. Man, it's great, man. I wouldn't change anything this past 5 years to be where I'm at right now. I just want to say I love y'all guys. And go Tigers.
Thank you, Carlos. Now we'll bring up the man that holds just about every tight end reception record, touchdown record that there is here at Clemson, Jordan Leggett.
to give a speech, but I just want to say thank y'all for those special 4 years of my life. Everything about it in the classroom. Shout out to all the teachers that helped me get my degree in September. Also, just being the leader of art. You molded me into the man I am today. If I didn't do it all I would do, I'll take Clemson 10 times out of 10. Other than that, the coaches, Coach E, Coach Scott, appreciate everything, all the opportunities, just believe in me. Shout out to Coach Freeman. You molded me into the person I am today. I love you, man. Appreciate everything. And also his family out there. Taylor, Trent, Tanner, Mom. I love you guys. Other than that, all the other tight ends, y'all carry on the legacy, man. And God bless. Love all y'all.
Thank you, Jordan. Come on, 18. Jadar Johnson. Safety.
I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I'm nervous. First off, I just want to thank God. Without God, this wouldn't be possible. Just to my family, everyone who supported me, I just want to thank all of y'all. It was a time where I didn't know if I was good enough to play for Clemson, and I just wanted to go back home. But my family was there for me to give me encouraging words. Coach Sweeney was there. He told me I could definitely play here, man. It just gave me so much confidence in the world. And ever since then, man, I just felt like the most confident player on the field, man. I really want to thank Coach Sweeney, the rest of the coaches. Guys like Coach Trapp, he isn't here with us anymore. He's up in Buffalo. Coach Trapp, Jeff Davis, Coach Reed, Coach Harvey, Coach Venables, everyone who had a part of me staying here and being a part of this great legacy. I want to thank them. I'll give them a hand. I'm going to try my hardest not to be emotional up here, man, but I just want to talk about my brothers, the guys that woke up with me at 5 o'clock in the morning and get up and go to workouts, and right after that, have to go to class. Those guys really know what the grind is about. We go through a lot with a lot of people, anytime you might make a bad play or something, we get negative about that. A lot of people saying things, but man, they really don't know what we go through as student athletes. A lot of people just, talk crazy, like fans from other schools talk crazy. Really don't know what we go through, man. And these guys, wow, man, these guys are strong. Stronger than a lot of people would ever know. And I just want to thank them, for having the mentality, the guts, the strength to get up every morning and do that stuff, and deal with the negative energy out here and still come to work every day. It really shows up in a season like this, man. We're national champions, and without the guys that we have on the team, it couldn't be done, man. So I just want to thank those guys, man. I really love them like brothers. I'll give them a hand too. I'm still nervous, but I'm still not done. And this shout out right here, alright, I promise after this I'm done. But, this right here is real big to me, man. I just want to give a special shout out. I just want to take time, just to single this person out, man, because on my journey here, like I said, it's been kind of hard, mentally. I just want to give a shout out to my dad. That's really like my best friend. player, but it didn't work out for him. You know, I grew up with the same dream, and he made sure that I had everything that I needed to follow through with that dream. You know, he worked long nights. I mean, long nights. Some nights where I wouldn't even see him just because he was out working so hard. And you know, having to work that hard just to put me in camp so I could perfect my craft, you know, be seen by schools. I just want him to know that that didn't go unnoticed. You know, even times where I didn't seem appreciative for the things that you did, I really appreciate it. I just love you, Dad. I don't know where you at yet. You somewhere out there. All right, I'm done. Go Tigers.
Coach Sweeney always says that he wants his guys to leave here equipped with the tools for life. You've seen that on display. Once more, how about a round of applause for these men? Clemson Nation, settle in, because a man's coming. Here comes the champ, the head coach of your Clemson Tigers, Dabo Sweeney.
You know, they said that Thad Turnipseed, first of all, I want to thank Thad Turnipseed and all the administration for what an unbelievable big job they did in putting this together this week. Let's give Thad and his crew a hand. Thad called me earlier in the week. He said, Coach, I don't know, we might need to move the parade. It's supposed to rain. It's supposed to, and I said, Thad, we're having the parade. And you show up in January and you get a day like this. You tell me God ain't a Clemson fan? Come on now. I've been with Jadar Johnson 4 years. That's the most I've heard him say in 4 years. And you talking about your dad, I'm going to lift up your mom, Tabitha. All right, she's over here somewhere too. There she is. I know who runs that house, Tabitha. Don't you worry. I got your back. Our last practice before we went to Tampa, we practiced right here on this field. Friday morning, last Friday morning before we went down. And the last thing I said to the team when we called them up, getting ready to go shower and fly to Tampa, is I told them, I said, boys, that 1981 team's been awful lonely up there on that stadium for a long time. And this is the team that's going to join up there. Next Saturday, we're going to have a parade to celebrate, and Death Valley is going to be packed to the house to celebrate the national champions, the 2016 national champions. You know, last year, when the season was over, there were lots of books written, lots of documentaries, lots of DVDs. And I told the team all year long this year, I said, guys, all those people, all they can do is just document and report what happened. What y'all need to understand is we got the pen in our hand, and we write the story. We write the ending. And what an ending they wrote Monday night in Tampa, Florida. What an ending. My first team, my 09 team, we played for that ACC championship in that stadium. I'll never forget walking off that field and oranges being thrown at us. Then they sent us to the Music City Bowl to play in 20-degree weather. And we won. But God had something big for us. For that team, we needed to win a division. But here we were 8 years later, walking off that field as the national champions. Special. The Bible says in Philippians 4:13, for I can do all things, not some things, for I can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And I don't think it's a coincidence that number 4 threw it to number 13 for the game-winning touchdown. I just want to thank a couple people. First of all, I want to thank my family. I want to thank my beautiful wife, Kathleen. Kathleen, you stand up. My 3 boys, Will, Drew, and Clay, they're somewhere right here. Y'all stand up. Stand up. I want to thank my mom, who's sitting right here. Stand up, Mom. Y'all probably can't see her, but she's standing. That's the toughest lady I've ever known right there. I want to thank my brother, Tracy, the bald-headed guy you always see around me. I want to thank Tommy Bowden for bringing me to Clemson, South Carolina. I always tell the players, it's a game of emotion, but you can't be emotional. It's hard for me to not be emotional when I thank Terry Don Phillips for giving me the opportunity to lead this program. There's not a lot of people in this world that have the guts and the conviction to do what they believe, regardless of what other people think. Terry Don Phillips, he's one of those men. And Jim Barker, he is as well. So I just want to thank Terry Don Phillips and President Barker for allowing this to happen. I want to thank our board of trustees, amazing group of folks. I want to thank President Clemens. Just doesn't get any better than President Clemens.
I want to thank Dan Radakovich. He has just been, when he took the baton from Terry Don, man, he has run with it. And he has been a tremendous blessing to this program, to this university, and to this staff. I'm so thankful. I want to give a special thanks to my coach. He's like a father to me, a mentor. Doesn't get near the credit that he deserves for helping me run this program day in and day out, and that is Coach Woody McCorvey. People have no idea what Woody does. He is my sounding board. It's a rock for me. He gave me an opportunity to play. He gave me a scholarship. Helped get me hired. The crazy thing about it is he grew up on Highway 31 in Atmore, Alabama. I grew up on Highway 31 in Pelham, Alabama. Man, only God can bring two guys together from Pelham and Atmore and create a moment like this. Special. I want to thank you fans. I am so daggone happy for all of Tiger Nation. You guys deserve this. I want to thank all the former players that have come through Clemson. It's been such a blessing to get to know a lot of y'all and meet you, and thank you for the traditions. Thank you for that 81 team, for proving and giving me the belief that it could be done. Thank you for that. But I want to especially thank my former players, my previous teams. One of the things that I really try to pour into these guys is to understand how we got here. And for those teams that came before this one, what we did was meant for them. What this team did was meant for now. But all of us are a part. Every one of you previous teams and former players that I've had, you got a piece of this trophy. You can bet on that. Now, I want to say a special thanks. I want to say a special thanks to C.J. Spiller. I don't know if he's out here anywhere. I still got that card on my desk. I made him promise me, because I knew he was a man of his word. I made him sign the card that he would come and visit Clemson. First 5-star I've ever been able to sign. And that belief helped me build this program. And when he had a chance to leave, my first year as the head coach, his senior year, he stood up and he said, I'm staying because I want to leave this place. We're not done yet. He led us to that first division title. Unbelievable. In a time where you have players saying, hey, I don't want to play, C.J. Spiller not only did he play, he was the MVP. We went from the ACC championship game to the Music City Bowl in 20-degree weather, and he was the MVP of that game as well, as we beat Kentucky. That's leadership. That's what all in looks like. And I want to also give a special shout out to my dandy dozen. My first recruiting class, I could only talk 12 guys into coming. That's it. But those 12 guys, the Malachi Goodmans, the Carico Wrights, special. The Quandon Christians, the Shoeys, Shackleys, Rod McDowell, unbelievable. All 12 of them graduated. They all helped us make this program better. They led us to our first ACC championship in 20 years. Led by, now tied for the winningest quarterback in school history, Taj Boyd. I want to thank all of our staff. I'm so blessed. Our staff, our support staff, everyone works so hard to help us be successful. The Bible says in Proverbs, where there is no counsel, the people fall. But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. That's what I've had. I've had a multitude of good counselors around me. All right? And I'm standing up here talking, but this staff, our support staff, our GAs, the people who clean the building are the epitome of all in. And I'm so thankful for them. I've made a lot of decisions, one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. And I want to just take a quick second. One of the best decisions I've ever made was hired Dan Brooks. Dan Brooks, there will never be a better man, more loyal, more committed, cares about his players than Dan Brooks, ever. Dan is 65 and decided he wants to retire. He's going out on top. I tried to talk him out of it, but this is what he's ready to do. Dan Brooks, you deserve this, brother. You deserve it. I want to just thank this team, this special team. This team was special from day one. The first team meeting we had when we got back from the national championship game last year, I walked in and I looked at these guys in the front row and I knew this is game on. They had a look in their eye that was determined. I truly believe that everything rises and falls on leadership. And the leadership and accountability of this team was truly amazing to witness all year long, day in, day out. I always tell these guys, championships are won when the stands are empty.
Championships are won when nobody's watching. Never been around a more accountable group of leaders in my life. And these seniors make my job easy. Easy. Absolutely easy. And I'm so appreciative of this whole team, especially the leadership. And let me tell you, they earned it. They earned it. Nobody gave us jack. We played the toughest schedule in the country, and then we went and beat two of the best teams in the history of football. It just was meant to be exactly the way it happened. And I'm so thankful for the leadership that we had. I challenged them last spring that in order for us to get to Tampa, we were going to have to embrace the target. We were going to have to finish with no regrets. And in order to do that, everybody was going to have to give a little bit extra. And then we talked about what that little extra was. And that is exactly what I saw, and it's what you saw. The leadership, the accountability, the appreciation for each other was so special. I saw the little extra all year, and especially in that championship game. When I saw Renfro make a tackle, when I saw Dexter make a tackle, when I saw Sean strain to get that ball in the end zone. When I saw Mike Williams hang in the air, give a little extra to get that ball. When I saw Jordan Leggett turn and give a little extra to hang on that ball. I saw it. When I saw those linemen giving a little extra to finish that block on the goal line. I saw those D linemen straining to defeat that guy in front of them. I saw Tanner Muse straining to block that punt. I saw Wayne Gold bouncing off guys, giving a little extra. I saw it all year in the Ohio State game. I saw Ray McLeod crack back and take two guys out. That's what a little extra looks like. But here's what I want you to know. It wasn't just on the field that I saw it. I saw it off the field. Their commitment, their character. In the midst of this national championship run, we set an all-time record. 48 guys make the honor roll 3.0 or higher. As we went into the playoff, I told our team that Alabama and Ohio State, they had bigger budgets, they had bigger stadiums, they had a bigger alumni base, they had more 5 stars, but that wasn't going to matter because it was going to be about belief. It was going to be about our culture. It was going to be about a will to win. It was going to be about heart, about team. And most of all, it was going to be about their love for each other and for Clemson University. Because when you love something, and when you love each other, you'll do that little extra. And that's what we saw on Monday night. We saw a team do that little extra, and it was so fun to watch. And the last play of the game, last score of the game, epitomizes what this team is all about. You saw the 5-star quarterback throw the game winner to the walk-on wideout. That's what this team is about. Best is the standard. And every single year, we are on a quest to be the very best we can be.
And it's important that everybody here understands what I'm fixing to say. And these players understand it. Winning the national championship is great. I have literally dreamed about this. Dreamed about it. I've seen this. Still think I am dreaming. I've seen this. And it is great. But it's how we won that matters the most to me. Always told these guys, one of these days we're going to hold that trophy up, and when we do, we can be transparent and we can know we did it right. And I'm so thankful for these young men. But here's the deal. These trophies, this one's not made it back. Good time to rob a bank in Clemson, South Carolina right now, huh? Here's what I want you to know. These things are beautiful, and man, we're going to put this is going to be displayed, it's going to be great. But this trophy, these trophies, they're not going to define us, ever. The culture of our program is what we will be defined by. And that culture is based on how we build men through their experience here at Clemson. That culture will be built by how we love and serve and care for our players and this community. That culture is built on how we teach these young people to love and serve and care for others. That's what our culture is going to be defined by. Coach Gene Stallings, he taught me that the fun is in the winning. And I have carried that to my players. And the fun is in the winning. But it's how we win that will sustain us. And that is our focus. It's a daily commitment to being the very best that we can be. And we will continue to do that. And to the Board of Trustees, my first board meeting, Friday morning before we played Georgia Tech, my first game as an interim, Billy DeAndre calls me and wants to take me to the board meeting. I didn't want to go. I didn't really know any of them. And it was at 7 o'clock. I hadn't slept all week. And he said, you know, I just want to kind of wish you well. You might need to come. So, I get up and I go to this board meeting, and I walk in the room over at the Martin Inn, and they were all great. And I don't remember which one it was, but they were very supportive. But one of the board members says, Coach, we're very committed here. We just want to be great, academically and athletically, like Georgia and Florida and Michigan. And I couldn't help it. Alabama just came out of me. I was trying to keep my mouth shut, but I couldn't do it. And I figured right then, well, I'm probably not going to get this job, but I'm going to say it anyway. I said, sir, I do not want this to be disrespectful, but that is not my vision for Clemson at all. I want for all those other schools to want to be like Clemson. South Carolina. And since the first time I stepped foot on this campus in 2003 as an assistant, I have truly seen and believed in the greatness and potential of Clemson University. 8 years ago when I got this job, we set out to put Clemson football back on top. And today, it is a reality. And I truly hope through what this team has done that we can give a lot of people hope out there. That greatness is for all of us. And that if you truly believe, you can do anything. And to dream big, man. I'm talking about extravagant dreaming. Extravagant. And that's what these guys have done. And that's why we're here. And I'm also very excited to help us continue to be the very best we can be. What we've taught in our program is that it's always about what's next. It's always about what's next. God put our eyes in the front of our head. And our eyes will be passionately looking forward to what comes next. It's great to have these trophies. These are awesome. This is the trophies over the past several years. But this right here was the only thing we hadn't done. We've done everything except that. When I got the job in 09, we hadn't won the division. Now we've won it 5 times. We hadn't won the ACC in 20 years. Now we've done it 3 times. We hadn't had 10 wins in 20 years. Now we've done it 6 times. What I'm trying to say, in order to do something again, you got to do it once. And this group got it done. They knocked the lid off of this program. And just like all these other things, let me tell you, we will do it again. I don't know when, but it will not be 35 years. So I just want to thank you all for your support. I can't tell you, deep in my bones, how happy I am for you fans, for the Tiger Nation, for your support. It's just incredible. This is a special place, a bunch of special people. You follow us all over the place. You show up at 5 o'clock in the morning when we're getting back. I'm so happy for y'all. I cannot wait to be back here April 8th for our spring game, and this stadium better look just like this. Last thing I'm going to tell you, in 2010, I did the press conference after the season. We didn't have a great season. And I said, you know what? I know we didn't have a good year this year, but we're building something special. And when 2020 gets here, we're going to look back, and this is going to have been the best decade in Clemson football history. So what I'm trying to tell all of you, what a great day, what a great moment. It's magical. It's what we've dreamed about. But the best is yet to come. It is yet to come. So just make sure that everybody enjoys the journey. I love all of you. God bless you, and go Tigers.
Is that the end?
We're going to wrap this up. We got a basketball game. We're not getting audio from them. We're not getting audio.
The rally in the Valley is done, as you can see, and it went for a little bit more than an hour here in the Valley after that wonderful parade. You always save the headliner for the end. That was Dabo Sweeney. And maybe the most memorable moment, Ben Boulware. Always very interesting when he's at the microphone. Very emotional today. What an interesting, wonderful day it's been.
The fans definitely showed up here, and we thank you for joining us for WSPA 7 News, our special coverage of the Clemson Championship Parade and Celebration.